What was your first real estate deal like? And then how did you pivot into this senior assisted living sort of niche?
Sure. I did this business backwards. I started off in development and new construction when I was 20 years old. I'm 42 now, so 22 years in the business. And as a builder, I realized I'm not a very good adult babysitter. And that's what I call general contracting.
Yeah.
And so I didn't like that business. I realized very quickly that I just wanted to design. I just wanted to be a designer. And so I'd go through all the trouble of being a builder just to get to pick out the flooring and the colors and right. And I was like, man, I'm making this hard on myself. And so the journey of new construction takes, good from start to finish, easily a year. And, you deal with municipalities and they're a pain in the butt and just contractors. And it was not fulfilling. And so I worked from development back to wholesaling. And I think a lot of people listening right now are like, I want to be a wholesaler and then work into flips and rentals into development. I'm going, maybe not, Yeah. And so in my curiosity, that was the year 2000 we're talking about here, or 99. So, things were great, 2000 to 2006, 7, 8. I built my first $1 million spec in 2007. Lost a crap ton of money.
Yeah.
And was I smart or dumb? I don't know. The world proved me to be pretty dumb that year. But, I keep, I subscribe to the model of get knocked down 8, get up 9 times.
Yeah. Well, what I like about what you just said, Phil, not to interrupt you, but what you just said was very powerful. So I want to point this out to our listeners that you said the world proving to be very dumb that year.
Yeah.
That was key. That year comment, because I think so many people of any type of entrepreneurship, real estate investing is obviously a form of that. You're going to get your knees sort of knocked out from underneath you at times. That's definitely happened to me. And again, you kind of compartmentalize it by saying that happened in that 6 months or that year. It didn't stop me from pursuing my dreams of financial freedom through real estate. It was just a learning lesson. Joseph McClendon, Tony Robbins' partner, says there's no winners and losers. There's only winners and learners. It's great to hear you say, I learned that year. The world proved me to be dumb that year, not forever. I think many people, they have one negative impact. It affects them the rest of their life. So I really appreciate you saying that. I just wanted to point that out.
Well, thank you. And I really believe that way. And one, if I'm going to say a good thing about COVID is that I think everyone's looking at their lives right now and going, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah, no doubt.
Because we've been able to sit back and reflect and go, is this what we're doing here with my life? People want to change right now. And there's a million investors out there right now because the market's been frothy for a good decade. And, and we're in the weirdest time in my 22 years. How can the market be the hottest I've ever seen it and the sky is falling?
Yeah, right.
Which one is it, And I think November 4th, we're going to find out more. I don't know if it's going to affect it one way or the other. I think as investors, we all try to see around the corner a little bit. We're all trying to do that. With me, I know no matter who's in office, people will still continue to age and my service will be needed.
Yeah.
So when did you do your first sort of senior deal? Like you started out as a developer, got into wholesaling, you build that big spec home. When did the senior niche kind of take hold?
Well, what's funny about me too is I was a wholesaler before I knew what that term even was. I used to drive up and down neighborhoods and look for the dilapidated house, and I would knock on the door, I would knock on the neighbor's door, and I would hunt for them and find them. So I was a wholesaler before I even knew what it was. And I went to work for a company in St. Louis that's, as far as the little guys go, it's one of the biggest. We do a couple hundred houses a year. And I always look for the stereotype. What's the stereotypical seller look like? Is it a 28-year-old or an 82-year-old? Is it someone that's lived there 2 years or 40 years, right? Mm-hmm. And in our world, it's obvious where our best deals come from. It's not somebody that's in their 40s, it's somebody that's in their 60s, 70s, 80s, right? And so we told that generic story that dad passed away 8 years ago. Mom's been doing the best she can on the fixed income. Mom fell again. This is, by the way, when you told that story earlier, I was like, oh man, that's my exact story. I say this, mom fell again. She just had surgery. The doctor said she can't move back home. Now the adult children are scrambling. And I work with the people that have the ear of that family to make that process as easy as possible. They're looking, man, they need some help. They need some wins right then. And what I'm looking for is the best of the best. I don't need a warm body in every city, Josh. I need someone who cares, has empathy, will take the training to go out and build relationships in a world that's very different than real estate. And you get to wear your cape and you get hugs and kisses. I mean, I'm proud of what I do, right? I have a lot of fulfillment in who I help. And the money is the easy part, right? If you have less competition and they're teed up, I always like to say this. Imagine a mailman coming to your house and saying, call Josh, call this one postcard. Don't call these other 37.
Yeah.
How great that would be. This is even more powerful than that because it's not the postman saying that. It's the person you've trusted with your mom's end-of-life care. Oh, my goodness. That's way more important than the postman.
The most
And that's kind of
important.
what's happening. They're saying, call Philip. He's the guy I use.